Yo, what's happening, peeps? Today we are going to talk about how bad literally the Druid is, and it's not even funny. After playing each character and getting him to 25, I've come to terms with that the Druid, you might as well just chuck flowers at people and grass. The amount of damage you do, you don't do hardly anything. So, let's get into it. Right, first, when you start off, normally, I thought, let me go Storm Strike. Right, it chains. So, this was okay to begin with. And then I realised that, okay, this is good for grouped enemies, but it still doesn't do hardly any damage. And this, and we're maxed now. I have other people's, let's see, what's Necromancer? OP. Like, their basic attacks, all the rest of them are kind of OP, bar the Druid. Alright, I tried Claw, because eventually you can add Poison. That does a little bit more damage, but it's so slow. You have to really focus on attack speed. Right? Then we'll got Lightning Storm, which for me, like, people say Tornado, but Lightning Storm to me is better. I think it does quite a bit of damage when it's fully updone, like fully upgraded. And you can actually get through some things. Right? But still, compared to all the other classes, you might as well be like shooting rainbows at people or throwing pillows. It's kind of dumb. And don't worry, I'll go through my full build after. These don't do anything. They protect you, like, which is ridiculous. Like, I think I've come to terms with now that a big point of being a Druid, right, is like shapeshifting. And for me, I've done a lot of shapeshifting is the most pointless thing. You don't do anything. So I feel like I'm just a mage, another mage running around. I don't feel like I've got any. I'm literally running another lightning build, which is beyond a joke. Right? It's silly, because you think, oh, I'm going to turn into a werewolf and there'll be like crazy moves you can do, and there's not. It's the same, like, oh, you just hit him, oh, you just hit him, oh, you just hit him again, oh, you can apply poison onto your claw. Like, it's so boring, it's ridiculous, right? It's beyond a freaking joke, right? But I started doing a bit more damage when I unlocked Lightning Strike. Like I say, these are pointless. These, to be honest with you, are kind of pointless again. Maybe Vine Creeper. I'm not entirely sure. I was using Wolves for a little bit, but they don't do anything. Like, the birds, like Ravens, are good because they do area damage, so I'd probably go Ravens. Like, that was okay. Then we get Hurricane, right? And this is ridiculous, because you read it and it says, for a hurricane surrounds you, dealing damage over 8 seconds, right? When you first unlock it, right, it does, I think it did like 7 damage. It still doesn't do this damage. It says deals 462, right? Doesn't even come close to it, right? So then you're like, okay, what can I do to increase it? So then we went into like elemental exposure, because this is where all like your increase the duration of hurricane and cataclysm, lightning, dealing lightning damage to enemies 5 chance, immobilize them. So these 5 are really good to do. You need to put points into this to even get any damage, right? And right now I have trample just to make my build fun. I don't even like, it's just fun. You just run through enemies and it's kind of fun. It kind of gets you out of trouble if you need it. but and sometimes it immobilizes them, but so on. Then you get to this, you get to your mastery, your ultimate skill, and you think, awesome, right? I read this. Massive storm follows you for 10 seconds, right? But that's not it. Originally it's 8 seconds, but because you're in elemental exposure, it adds another 2 seconds on. But anyway, massive storm follows you. Tornado knocks back enemies and lightning strikes wildly, dealing 200, right? So in my head, I've played Sorceress, and I'm like, okay, their ultimate's kind of the same. You just chuck lightning everywhere, and it destroys. This is literally useless. Literally useless. You kind of don't even notice anything at all. It changes the mood. Like, it goes darker and it looks like storm. And how I felt is like, it shouldn't even be like damage. There shouldn't be anything that damages enemy. It should just be like a buff where it's like, oh, storm follows you. Like, lightning ability or storm abilities are increased by, let's say, 100% or something. That would have made more sense than 2 lightning strikes I hit that literally is just like me chucking a feather at you or a paper cut. It's beyond a joke. So early on, you do hardly do anything, and you have to get to like end game level. No, not end game, but like max level beta, like 25 or like maybe 20 to even do any damage. And at that point, you're still doing like half the amount of damage that every other class in the game does. It's kind of silly. Like, it makes no sense. But saying that, if you do want this build, it is Storm Strike, put 5 into it, Wild Storm Strike, and Enhanced Storm Strike. That'll get you good chains. Then literally put 5 into Lightning Storm, and then go these 2 after. Put 3 into maximum spirit increase, because you're going to be using this move a lot and it takes spirit. Then we go down. Ignore all of these that I found, just ignore them. Go down here. I have not got any of these on at the minute, so I ignore this as well. But if you are, probably go Ravens, because it gives you a bit more like area damage, and it's probably the most damaging one out of the lot. Then you come over to here. I put 1 into Hurricane and 1 into this one, just because I can slow, and it kind of just takes the edge off of things. Put as many as you can into elemental exposure. As many. I went like, your storm skills have 20% to make enemies vulnerable, and then I went into increased Hurricane and Cataclysm because they're like the most shortest things on the planet, which is crazy. Like this. Surrounding enemies over 8 seconds. So you could imagine before it was like 4 seconds or something ridiculous. Right? So that. If you can get like a trample +1 on an item or a set of gear, do it. It makes the class more fun, and you can get out of things if you need to. Right. Down here, then you go Cataclysm. And there's nothing I can say, just go Cataclysm. Maybe try other ones. I've tried. They're all kind of just the same. It's not really good. So yeah, that's the build. Like, I don't think... Right now, I don't think Druid's worth playing. Like, can I say I had fun? Of course, I kind of ran around just like... just throwing lightning at everybody. Like, it was fun in the aspects of you can just run and just chuck lightning, but when it comes to like solo things, you can't, like, it takes forever to like hit bosses and stuff. It's kind of lackluster. Now if you're running a group, you kind of don't really notice, because right now obviously everyone's seen Necromancer. and exploding bodies and like blood mist, where you transform into like a blood mist, and all the corpses on the floor just explode. It's OP. Like the rogue or the assassin, I can never remember which one. The amount of damage output they can put is crazy. What else? Sorcerer, same thing. I don't know. I feel like they need to kind of rework druids. I just think a lot, like, I thought a lot of sorcerer skills were pointless, but then I came to druid, and oh my god, I don't think I've ever seen anybody use earth or any of this. But it just shouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. Like, I feel like I'm tanky, right? Because you can, don't get me wrong. You can put a lot into tank, like, and like you take no damage and resistance and things like that. But it's still so bad. And I think everyone's gonna have the same opinion that they look cool, but and another thing I found, I don't know if it's just my luck or anything, is like I want to get willpower on things because obviously that increases ability damage. But apparently when I'm using a druid, I can't find anything with willpower. It's kind of silly, but I did think they looked cool. But they definitely, hopefully in the 3 months that Blizzard's got left, they change him a little bit. Because I think a deciding factor of a druid for me was, or like when they showed it, like Wicked, you could turn into a bear, you can turn into a werewolf, and then you get to it, and there's not even any point of being a werewolf or a bear. Like, even running around the world, you see people. Even me, I started off, I was like, oh, I'm going to go into a werewolf. I'm going to go into a bear. Wife did the same thing. Werewolf, bear. And then, because you're just obviously you're trying to get a build at the start. And then you realise that, oh, this is just pointless. Like, and that's the, like, I think people try and stick, because it is a werewolf and a bear, they try and stick through it. Because even at max level, like 25 now, and you're doing the last few end things, or even like a Charlotte, or just a dungeon, or even events that you run around finding, you still see people using werewolf. Like yesterday, I ran to an event, and it's, oh, I can't remember. She's in a bubble, and she's linked to all like, they're kind of like wargs, like dogs, and you have to kill them, and you only have 2 sacrifices. And I was watching a level 22, I think, do that as a werewolf, and it was just taking so long. And then I came in as a storm, and you could do so much more damage. So even still watching people, I'm like, how are you doing this at 20? It's so pointless to have this build and this thing going at this level. So I'm kind of disappointed. I wanted to play a druid main character, like when the game comes fully out, but I don't think I will. Unless they're gonna have to do something major. Like Madeline, she's playing rogue. I think it's rogue or assassin, one of them, whatever it is. I always forget. I don't know. She's playing that, and I'm torn between, I might go sorcerer or necro. But the only thing with necro, I'm not a huge fan of minions in the game. I think it takes away. I think having like 2 or 3, I think that's okay. But I think having like 5, it takes away something from the game. So, but I do like the exploding corpses. Remind me of if anyone's played Smite, Alpwash. Like, you just explode. Just crazy amounts of damage. But that's it. So me, I'm torn between sorcerer and necro. But we'll see. So right now, me personally, my tier list. Let's do it. So I'm gonna put. I'm gonna put Necro first, just because by itself it's OP, but multiple Necromancers, everything's dead on the planet. The game's dead. Like the Necros just kill the game. So Necro, then Rogue or Assassin, whichever one it is, because they output stupid amounts of damage. Then I'd probably go Sorcerer or Berserker or Barbarian. So let's do Necro, Rogue, or Assassin. Oh, this is hard. Possibly Barbarian. Also, I think Barbarian and Sorcerer are kind of similar at the minute that I've played of. And then Druid. But Druid, I'm not even going to put Druid last. Druid just doesn't exist. It shouldn't even be on the list. It should be back, being stripped down and redone. But that's my list for now. Hopefully they change it. I don't know. But it's all my build for Druid. And another thing I've got, like, I can't, every other class you can use, you can like unlock your mastery for your doing your quest. This thing here, obviously can't see this stupid thing here, right? Is here. You can't even get to it. It's a level 50. It's level 15 plus in a 20. Like so you can't even get to try like unlocking like some of your mastery skills and stuff. So it's just, I don't know what they did to Druid. They kind of just like messed it up by looks things. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on my little rant. Druid, poop, just poop. Like, it might as well be it can be the pillow thrower. You can just throw pillows at people. Or no, it could be the marshmallow chucker. It just chucks marshmallows at people. Is that person at the party who walks around trying to chuck marshmallows into people's mouths and catch them. That's literally what the Druid is at this point. But yep, that's it. Marshmallow chucker, and I'll catch you on the next one, peeps. Much love. Peace.